Hello and welcome to BTEC Business at Bullerswood. Apologies we can't do this face to face, but we really look forward to welcoming you to the school in September and can't wait to get you into the classroom. My name is Mr. Bloxham. I'm the Head of Business Studies and Economics. My colleagues Mr. Langman and Mrs. Corelli also teach in the department, and hopefully over the next couple of years you'll be able to meet with them and learn from all the experience they have in the world of business. So let's look at what BTEC Business is all about. So, BTEC Business is offered by the exam board Pearson. There are a range of qualifications that Pearson offer, but at our school we only offer the BTEC Level 3 National Extended Certificate in Business. It's equivalent to one A-level. It carries the same value in UCAS points as an A-level. It also has the same amount of dedicated teaching time as the A-level spec does. But the biggest difference about this course is that it's half made up of coursework, whilst the other half is made up of exams that can be resit and retaken should you want to improve them. So it isn't all hinged on final exams at the end of year 2 like the A-level is. It is assessed and measured throughout the course, which has its benefits, i.e. you get to retake some of these exams, and you also get to focus on the coursework at your own time and at your own leisure to make sure that it is exactly as you want it to be. However, you do need to be ready from day one, because your first piece of coursework is going to be submitted prior to Christmas in the first year, and that grade counts towards your final overall grade. So it's really important that you approach September ready to start immediately. This isn't the option, or this isn't a course with an option to cram at the end and hopefully get through the exams. You've got to prove yourself throughout and make sure you put the work in. But I promise you, it's really rewarding. It's great to look into the businesses that interest you, and the units that we look at allow you to really explore perhaps areas of business you want to go into work or want to lead or run your own business, and it gives you a lot of flexibility to work independently and explore those areas. So we're going to be looking at 4 units across the 2 years. 3 of the units are mandatory, i.e. they have to be taken and they have to be passed. The first 2 units we'll be doing is Exploring Business and the Personal and Business Finance exam. These are going to be done in year 12. Now, Exploring Business is a coursework based unit, so you will be working on assignments independently once I've delivered all the course content, once I'm confident that you're ready to tackle the assignment. So the grades for the coursework units are very much within your own hands. It will rely on you hitting the course running from September, working hard straight away, making sure you're putting the effort in, because the grades start accounting for your final grade this side of Christmas. So it's really important that you do put the effort in with your coursework. The other unit we do in the first year is the Personal and Business Finance exam. Now this is quite a tricky exam with formulas that you won't have seen before. You won't have a formula sheet either, so the maths can be a bit daunting for some students. However, there are some extended writing questions where you'll get to talk about the value of money and different bank accounts, so there are certainly more accessible options if maths isn't your thing. The reason we do it in the first year is because it's the most valuable unit. It carries a lot of weight, but if we take it in the first year, then you'll have up to 2 opportunities in the second year to take it again and improve your grade. And if maths is something that you really struggle with and you haven't enjoyed the finance unit, if you pass it in the first year, then we can take that grade and you don't need to do it again. You can just focus on the remaining 2 units in the second year. So there's quite a bit of flexibility in how this course is assessed. In the second year, we're going to be doing the Developing a Marketing Campaign exam, which is a controlled assessment where you are 2 weeks before the exam given an industry to research, and then you'll be compiling a marketing or developing a marketing campaign in a controlled environment. So you'll have 3 hours to put together a marketing campaign on a PC and type it up. The other unit we do in the second year is the Recruitment and Selection process. It's one of the smaller units and it's quite accessible. You should be able to score well on it, but it's all about recruitment and selection. We'll do some interviews and some role playing, some job adverts, job descriptions. So this really prepares you for your next step as to whether you're moving on to university or apprenticeships or going straight out into business. This is the last cherry on the cake really in regards to building your business knowledge and making you as employable as you can be. So how's it graded? So your internal coursework will be graded as either distinction, merit or pass, and you can see there that a distinction carries the same value as an A-level in regards to UCAS points. Merit is the same as a C at A level, and pass is an E at A level, but clearly a pass will be deemed as more valuable than getting an E in your A level. Each unit is going to be graded independently, and then when they come together, we'll look at your overall grade. What are you overall going to achieve in the course? And it will either be a distinction star, where you have got distinction in your coursework and you perform very well in your external exams, a distinction, a merit, or a pass. I don't expect any one of you to be getting less than a merit. It is well within your capabilities, and I will work with you to make sure that you get that. But it does hinge on you putting the work in from day one to make sure your coursework doesn't limit your final grade. You need those first pieces of coursework to get the grades that you need. So what does a class look like? What does a lesson look like? Well, you could walk in and you'll find something like this on the board, like a do now task, where I'm going to ask you to research a business. And we'll be looking at contemporary businesses, Apple, Samsung. There's a very good chance you all own Apple phones, and you'll probably go on to research Apple as one of the businesses that you look at. But we do also like to encourage you to look at businesses perhaps that you don't usually use, like Samsung perhaps. And see what the differences are between these two market leaders, how they go about promoting themselves. In this particular task, it's looking at how the business is structured, sole trader, partnership, private limited companies perhaps, looking at how this business is structured and what evidence, and this is the important bit, what is the evidence that tells you how this business is structured? Because it's that sort of referencing, that sort of documenting of your evidence and assessing the reliability of that source that will be able to elevate your grades in your coursework. If you're saying that Samsung is a public limited company, how are you proving that? What sort of evidence out there are you finding? Where are you sourcing that information from? Because Wikipedia is not a good source. We're going to have to look at something more reliable and more trustworthy. But we'll look at that as we go. So this could be a 10-minute starter task just to settle you into the lesson. We then might start looking at some different activities. And finding now that Samsung is a public limited company, well, what are the advantages to being structured in that way? What are the disadvantages? With the idea being that these short activities feed directly into your assignment coursework. You're going to use this for your own businesses that you're researching. And we've had a range of businesses looked at. Some schools actually tell you which business they want you to research. I'd rather give you the flexibility to explore businesses that interest you. So we could have Pretty Little Thing, we could have Nando's, McDonald's, Apple. It's literally anything as long as it meets the prerequisite of the assignment. So you will get to explore businesses that interest you. Again, it's another example of some of the activity sheets where you'll be building notes. Now, this might seem as a very simple sheet, but if you fill this with all the notes that you need for your strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats of the internal and external environment for Google, then you can apply that understanding, that knowledge and that process to other businesses, whichever business you're filming in your coursework. So we don't waste any time in lessons. We'll be starting off by giving you relatively straightforward activities that help you formulate and build the knowledge you need and apply it to the business that you're researching, and then present your information in the right structured format for your coursework. Usually the second half of the lesson is a bit more independent, where you will be going off, you'll be going online to research your business and start to build all the information you need to put into your coursework. For instance, like researching McDonald's. It could be looking at the extended marketing mix perhaps, and how does McDonald's actually use it. So again, there's a lot of independent learning taking place in this class. So if you refer back to the first slide, you'll find my contact details. I really look forward to welcoming you in September. Please reach out to me with any questions or queries, or if you need any help with the summer work. When you do join us in September, be ready to work from day one. It's a great course and I look forward to seeing you then.